Looking to buy or sell your home? We're going to check in now to get the pulse of the local real estate market. Realtor Liane Jamason with Smith & Associates joins us once again. Thanks for coming back to talk real estate with us.
Anytime.
Nationally, we have seen a drop.
We have.
And locally as well. What's going on?
Locally as well. You know, there's, I think, several things going on. You know, consumer confidence, I think, has been rocked a little bit with some of the shakeups in the government recently. You know, we've seen a little drop in December, so those would have been deals signed in October and November. There was some volatility in the stock market. And I think overall affordability is just getting more difficult.
So nationally, home sales are down about 6.4%.
Yes.
Is that pretty much the same here locally?
It's about 7.5% here locally. But what's interesting is prices actually went up, even though sales went down. So that's telling me it's definitely an affordability problem. We have very low inventory, the lowest I've seen in 12 years. So it's getting tough out there.
How much have prices gone up during that time as sales have gone down?
We're up 11.9% this year over last year.
Okay.
So significantly.
So it's very much a seller's market.
Absolutely.
How long has it been a seller's market now, would you
Gosh,
say?
it's been several years. We've been up for a while. Yeah.
So the affordability issue, is that coming in with a certain price range, would you say?
Definitely. I was doing my research, the $100,000 to $150,000 range, we were actually down 41% in sales. So those very lower price points are getting very difficult to find a home in.
Is there any building going on in that price point, or is it all just a much higher price point that's being built out, or what's happening with that?
I think what's happening is people are having to jump up to the next price bracket. So we are seeing some building, but not usually quite at the $100,000 level. You're usually seeing it a little more, 150 to 250, 350.
Sure. And you mentioned have the uncertainty we've seen with the government. We had the government shut down. Was that related, do you think, to this drop in sales?
I don't think that was related at the time, because those sales again would have been back
prior
from
to
October to November. But I do think we're going to see some long-term effects from the government shutdown. You know, people weren't able to pay their mortgage for 35 days in some cases, people that live paycheck to paycheck. So I think we could see some 30-day lates on credit. It definitely rocked many real estate deals during December and January, including my own.
Oh, is that right? What happened? What happened with you?
I had my personal home under contract at the beginning of December before the shutdown, and the buyer was actually Coast Guard.
Oh, okay.
So he was furloughed, and he was not getting paid. And to get a government VA loan, you need copies of pay stubs. So that was a problem. So we did eventually get it done, but for a while the member of the Coast Guard thought he might be homeless.
Oh, that's the last thing we want to hear, but I can see where that would, you know, be a problem when you're trying to get those loans processed, and maybe even people at the VA who processed the loans might have been on furlough themselves as well.
So they were on a skeleton crew for sure.
So we might still see the trickle down in those numbers coming in from that time.
Yeah, I think we will.
Yeah. If you are, since it's a seller's market, if you're a buyer, and let's say maybe you can buy a little bit higher than that price point that's so lacking right now in homes. But if you've got 200 to 300, 400,000 that you can spend, what should you know to get out there and get the best deal, knowing it's a seller's market?
I think find yourself a good realtor. Do maybe some reviews on Zillow, things like that. Look for somebody who's a good negotiator, and go out there and do some shopping. And it depends on what county you're in, what part of the city you're in, as to where those deals are going to be. But I think if you have a strong negotiator on your side, that'll be your best bet.
And there are these things that are cropping up now, and I'm interested in your opinion on them, that you hear the advertisements for. We'll buy your house.
Yes, the iBuyers.
What's the deal there?
There are a couple of them out there who will offer to buy your home quickly, no paper. Well, they say very little paperwork, no showings. For example, OfferPad. I tried this on my house. Okay. The one that just sold in December, sold for $395. When I put in the information into OfferPad, they gave me an offer at $320. So $75,000 difference.
That's big.
Yeah. It's big, and I think people do want convenience, and they think that this is going to be an easy, quick way to sell their home. But unfortunately, those offers are coming in well under market value, because they're going to have to resell that property.
Okay, so if it sounds too easy and too good, there may be a reason for that. Just to know what you're getting into, for sure. And if you're a seller, you know, the world is your oyster right now? Is it as simple as that?
Somewhat. There are still sellers that are overpricing their home because they know it's a seller's market and then it sits. So you still have to be careful and price your home correctly because buyers are being picky as well.
And the inventory, you said, was at about
2.4 months supply, which is, again, the lowest I've seen in 12 years.
How would that compare to going back when it was at its worst, you know, so many years ago when we were just flooded with short sales and foreclosures?
We were seeing 12 to 20 months supply depending on the price point you were at. Yeah.
All the way down. Now we're at 2.
We're at the bottom.
Pendulum has swung completely the other way, hasn't it? Well, what do you see, you know, looking into the crystal ball and kind of forecasting when maybe it might go back to a buyer's market? Is that even anywhere on the horizon?
It's, you know, I'm constantly reading and trying to see what the experts are saying, and everybody's got a different opinion on it. I don't think that we're going to see a crash like we did. Perhaps things will calm down just a little bit at some point, especially if interest rates do go up. But we've actually seen a tiny dip in them in this last couple months. So that's actually stimulating the economy.
And we're still historically low.
We are.
It's still really a good time to buy if you can get the right price.
It is.
But you got to watch out since they've kind of gone up a little bit here lately, it seems like.
Yeah.
Well, we always appreciate your insight, and thanks for coming and talking real estate with us, and know what you're getting into, get a good realtor, certainly some of the bottom lines here.
Absolutely.
Thanks again.
Thank you.